Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Late Night News by HIMediaTV. I'm your host, Ivan from HIMediaTV. I know I just bungled that up, but I'm not restarting the recording. We're going to get into your top headlines of the day, including your top headline being J.D. Vance says Trump would veto a nationwide abortion bill. But before we get into that, let's get into your headlines. Firstly, the U.S. National Park System gets a $100 million grant, the largest in history. Meanwhile, the U.S. Justice Department seeks to revive Trump's document case and defends its role of special counsel. Remember, a Trump-appointed judge basically ruled that special counsel shouldn't be a thing. Colorado Republicans vote out a party chair following his anti-gay post. State Republicans accused Dave Williams, who was ousted in a landslide vote, of dividing the party with hateful narratives. Pavel Durov, the CEO of Telegram, has been arrested by French authorities for allegedly enabling money laundering, drug trafficking, and other offenses by not allowing backdoors with end-to-end encryption of his messaging service, Telegram. He's still a weirdo. He's birthed like 100 children. It's kind of weird. The Texas AG raids the homes of Latino civil rights activists, as well as other Democratic officials, setting up voting rights showdown. The raids have triggered outrage among cries of voter suppression in a state with a long history of discrimination against citizens of Mexican descent, which helped give rise to the LULAC. A woman dies on the first day of Burning Man, which is today, prompting a police investigation. That I'm not surprised. And lastly, we're on to our headline for the day. J.D. Vance says Trump would veto a bill that establishes a federal abortion ban. I absolutely commit to that, Vance said when asked on ABC's Meet the Press whether he could commit to Trump not imposing such a ban. Donald Trump's view is that we want in individual states and their individual cultures and their unique political sensibilities to make these decisions because we don't want to have a nonstop federal conflict over the issue. Surprisingly classical conservative of him. He's lying through his teeth. The Ohio senator insisted that Trump, the former president who is the Republican nominee this year, would. We all know Trump is. We don't need to say that. Fucking PBS News. By Jill Colvin in the Associated Press. If you're not supporting it as president of the United States, you fundamentally have to veto it, he said in an interview that aired Sunday. Vance's comments come after Democrats spent night after night on their national convention in Chicago last week assailing Trump for his role in appointing Supreme Court justices who overturned Roe v. Wade, ending the constitutional right to abortion in the United States and paving way for bans and restrictions across Republican states. But the efforts to neutralize an issue that Democrats hope will galvanize efforts fall also risk alienating parts of Trump's base opposed to abortion rights. So let's be straight up here, shall we? Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, J.D. Vance is absolutely the type of person who would want a national abortion ban. Absolutely. This is a non-negotiable thing. This is very common knowledge. And Donald Trump doesn't actually have any beliefs. Ultimately, it's just what's popular in his base. And J.D. Vance doing this is kind of going to hurt Trump a little bit. Yes, everybody knows who they're going to vote for, but, if they were at the polls. But the question of not whether or not there is a galvanization of getting people to the polls, a big part of the Republican effort to get people to go out and vote, the backbone of that was evangelical pastors, the evangelical churches across this country. And what do the far right-wing evangelical churches care about? Abortion. And so if you're not going to do a national abortion ban, what's ultimately going to happen is that you're going to have a more deflated turnout. Not because people who are going to not vote for Trump and vote for Harris instead, or vote third party, is going to be because those right-wing ideologues in the evangelical church aren't going to show out for Trump the way he needs. Specifically by, getting people registered to vote, people of the day, people being excited to that. There are multiple single issue voters in this country, And a large chunk and for the right wing, the single issue of abortion is bigger and more important than whether or not the food those people eat is edible, and whether or not the money that they make they get paid, paid a livable wage, or whether or not their job is like liable to have conditions that protect their safety. They don't give a shit about any of that. They only care about abortion, like guns or weed or any other pet issue. That's all they care about, and this is going to hurt them because they ultimately that 13% of people that want a national abortion ban with no exceptions and things of that nature, that 13% is really consequential because a large chunk of them aren't necessarily the types of people that would go out to vote in every election, but you need to have them activated. 13% doesn't sound like a lot, but when that 13% is a little under half, is a little under half your the percentage of like your resolute base, like the 30% of people who are absolutely guaranteed to vote for Trump, that is not an insignificant thing. So as much as Trump with his New York sensibilities might be a little iffy on abortion, especially since he's probably paid for a lot of women to have them throughout his life, he's probably he had like that's some JD Vance kind of shot the campaign, like the pinky toe off the campaign. They're still walking, they're hopping, they're still on their feet and walking still, but like that is a wound that is going to fester without a doubt.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to talk to me outside of this video, outside of live streams, or just join the community and be a part of it, you can do so at HIMediaTV/Discord. Discord links there. We'd love to have you. And given the financial situation of the economy right now, I know this is a tall ask, but if you have the scratch to spare, please consider donating and becoming a supporter at HIMedia.gg/tip. All of our perks are serviced through our Discord channel, including early access videos, exclusive videos, and more. Your generosity is a blessing, and $1 a month is a boon to my mental health. Thank you so very much for watching. I appreciate you, and have a great day.